Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that's at the very heart of being human, connection. But we're going way beyond just feelings and getting into the science, the invisible neurobiological broadcast that actually makes it all happen. It's called automatic tone.
You know that feeling, right? We've all wondered about it. Why is it that with some people the conversation just flows, and with others it feels like you're talking to a brick wall? You might chalk it up to personality or having things in common, but the real answer, well, it goes so much deeper than that.
Because that click you feel? That's not just a cute metaphor. It's a real physical signal. It's a neurobiological broadcast our bodies are sending out and tuning into every single second. This is the invisible carrier wave that decides if two people feel safe, connected, and truly deeply in sync. Okay, let's get into it.
To really get how this signal works, I think it helps to look at what happens when it's broken. So let's take a look at a case study. We'll call them Dennis and Tom. They desperately want to connect, but there's this biological barrier between them, an invisible wall built entirely out of faulty signals. So for Dennis, he's dealing with conditions like dyspraxia, which messes with physical coordination, and sleep apnea. These things basically corrupt his body's natural broadcast. Imagine you're trying to tune in to your favorite radio station, but all you can get is this fuzzy, crackling static. That's the signal Dennis's nervous system is constantly sending out, just a chaotic, biological noise.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. Tom's brain has its own built-in radio tuner. It's a part of the brain called the orbitofrontal cortex, and its main job is to scan for safety. So when it picks up on Dennis's static, it doesn't understand it. It reads it as a threat, or just nonsense, and it immediately sends out an unconscious no-go signal, shutting down the connection before it even has a chance to start.
And the result of all this is something called a ruptured gaze. It means that even though they're both looking right at each other and they both consciously want to connect, their nervous systems are just completely out of sync. The channel is broken, the call isn't going through.
Okay, so if a broken signal can build a wall, what does a clear signal actually look like? This brings us right to the core of it all, automatic tone. This is the secret language our bodies are using all the time to communicate safety and build trust without us even knowing it.
Now let's be super clear. Automatic tone is not a sound you can hear with your ears. Not at all. Think of it as the silent background hum of your nervous system. It's a constant broadcast that's telling everyone around you one of two things. I'm safe, you can approach, or warning, danger ahead. And the craziest part? It all happens completely unconsciously.
So here's a simple way to think about it. Your body has two main channels it can broadcast on. You've got your sympathetic system, that's the gas pedal. It revs you up for fight or flight, and it broadcasts a danger signal. Then you have your parasympathetic system. That's the brake pedal. It shifts you into that calm rest and digest mode, and it broadcasts safe. Your automatic tone is basically the balance between these two states. And the part of your brain that's constantly tuning into these broadcasts from other people, that's our friend the orbitofrontal cortex, the OFC. It's like a little security guard, constantly scanning the automatic tone of others, reading their heart rate, their breath, their level of arousal, to decide if a connection is safe enough to even attempt.
So, if the signal is broken, can you actually fix it? Well, amazingly, the answer is yes. And this is where we get into a really fascinating new world, a kind of bioengineering designed specifically to repair a broken signal and build connection right from the ground up.
The fix comes in two parts. First, you've got the chemistry. A little bit of intranasal oxytocin creates this calm, safe baseline. It's like telling the nervous system, hey, switch over to this safe channel. Then you have the calculus. Electrical muscle stimulation provides a perfect external rhythm. It's a beat that both bodies can lock onto automatically, without even having to think about it. This quote from the source material just says it all, doesn't it? The whole process is designed to clear away all that biological noise, the static from stress and bad sleep, and replace it with a clean, quiet biological silence. It creates a state that is just perfectly ready for connection to happen. And this is the absolute crucial point. This whole process solves the problem of dyspraxia because it removes the need to consciously try. Remember, when Dennis tries to connect, his signal just falls apart. But this intervention makes the synchronization happen for him, automatically, kind of like how a pacemaker sets a heart's rhythm. He doesn't have to try to be in sync anymore. The technology ensures he is.
And this analogy just illustrates the difference so perfectly. In normal waking life, their attempt to connect is like a flickering Bluetooth signal, It's fragile, it's unreliable, and the data transfer just keeps failing. But with this engineered automatic tone, it's like plugging them both directly into a fiber optic cable. The connection is suddenly hardwired, it's stable, and the transfer, it just succeeds. Automatically.
So this is obviously more than just a really cool fix for a specific problem. It actually changes how we think about human connection itself. So let's zoom out. Why does this all matter so much?
Here's the biggest takeaway. That feeling of being in sync with someone, it's not just a saying. It is a literal, physical, biological alignment of your nervous systems. I mean, your heart rates, your breathing, your arousal levels, they physically start to match up. It's real.
And this physical synchrony has huge psychological effects. It massively lowers the shame that can come from a failed connection because your bodies are confirming we are together milliseconds before your conscious brain can even start to worry about it. It completely resolves that ruptured gaze we talked about, forging a bond without a single word needing to be said.
Ultimately, what all this shows us is that true connection, singing from the same hymn sheet, it's not actually about agreeing on the words. It's about sharing the same underlying biological rhythm. It's like a silent duet being played between two nervous systems.
And that leaves us with a really profound question for the future, doesn't it? We are now developing the tools to potentially engineer the very foundation of human connection. So, if the bond between us can be designed, built, and even repaired, how are we going to choose to connect?